So here's an example. The first bit that I walked along is sort of the rocks you can see there in the middle of the picture. And then this is a little, almost like a little inlet. I imagine that the sea washes in here. And when I started to look amongst where the seaweed washes up, here we go. Bottles, pegs, which I now believe come from the fish farms. There's some polystyrene in there, plastic bottle. And then down here, wrapper, there's more polystyrene over to my right. And then, surprise, surprise, rope. So here we go again. There's a little bit of rope to the left there hanging on a tree branch. And then this pile of seaweed and debris, if you look carefully, you start to see all the different colours, little bits of blue, bits of rope, bottle tops, and here's a change, bit of yellow rope, more blue rope, and then I just need to look along here along the bay and I can see that there is more rope. The blue stands out. There's bits of blue twine embedded at my feet. Broken bits of plastic and bottles and bits of the rope seems to be the main thing. And look at this piece here. That looks like it's been around for a while. And the problem, here's a multicoloured bit at my feet. The problem with this stuff here, it's fraying and all these little fragments are washing out into the sea. There's another bit that looks quite new. So I'm not going to film any more, but I would imagine the whole of this bay will be similar, if not worse. Well, how's this for a crazy contrast? I hope you can hear the birds in the background accompanying this mess. Look at this. And I can see that further on there are some plastic bottles. This is all washed up in amongst these trees now. There's some kind of yellow container along there. And the whole thing is just littered with bits of coloured string, rope, pegs, yeah. There we go. This is the world we live in. This incredible beauty, those daffodils about to burst into flower, the birds singing beautifully in the background, and we've got this pile of black plastic, and next to it, if you look carefully, this is the stuff. That's some kind of plastic. I don't know what. Is it a tube? What is it? Oh, I don't know. The end of something and some other just little bit. You see that tiny little piece? And there's more here. Look, tiny little bits in there. You really don't have to even try to look hard. This might actually be the worst I've seen yet, and I am really upset. I'm looking ahead of me here, and it's just continual. There's just piece after piece after piece, rope, plastic, bottles, tops, and it's embedded where there isn't seaweed. You can see that it's loads of rope embedded, and the oyster farm bags. It's horrific, and it's one small bay on one loch on the west coast of Scotland. It's not unique. This is going on up and down the west coast of Scotland. So what's interesting here, devastating is you've got this pile of seaweed, which seems to be the one that's the highest up, and you can see that it's got debris in it, and then you have this sort of area, and then over there amongst the trees is the next big line of seaweed. And if you look at this patch in between, this is what you start to see. You see this? And bottle tops, and just embedded, presumably, yeah, there's another, look at these little bits here, can you see them? Little bits of blue polystyrene, there's little bits of string here and there. So in actual fact, what's going on is the whole area between this line of seaweed and that line of seaweed has embedded rope, string and plastic here. And the problem is, as the seaweed rots, this gets, and it's creating soil, isn't it? This layer of new soil is full of plastic. There are plastic bags, plastic nets, there's all sorts of stuff embedded between these two current lines of seaweed. Because okay, folks, whose is this? Because whoever you are, you seem to have left them lying along the beach. Honestly, there's loads of these in this particular bay. I cannot believe it. This is just devastation that I'm looking at here. And yeah, so now I'm starting to feel angry. I'm angry that people like Rosanna Cunningham, who is the Climate Change and Environmental Minister in the Scottish Government, thinks that there's no reason to stop a massive increase in the fish farming business. Is she joking? How could anybody think that if they came out and looked at what's going on here? I don't know what's making those bubbles, but look what's right next to it. And you can see how this rope, look, it's just, who knows how much there is. This is what we come across. So the layers of seaweed and the layers of build-up of bog and soil, and there it all is. What have we here? It's some kind of raft. Look what it's made out of. It's polystyrene. Look at that. It's just breaking off. I guess when there's a big tide, it comes up. This has been here for a long time. There's more just plastic crates behind there, and looky, along there, plastic bags and a mussel farm float. Hi, yeah, I'm just at the end of what I'm going to walk today, and I wanted to say that I think maybe I've been a bit naive. I honestly thought when I came out today, oh, I probably won't see as much plastic. You know, I'm inside the loch. That's just been a one-off or a two-off, as it were. And that's not the case. And it's actually quite hard doing this, I realise. And thank God for the beauty of nature, the birds that are singing, the little burn next to me that's bubbling, all the incredible shells that I can see around, the two seals that popped up to say hello, and the eagle that flew overhead. Because without them, this would be quite harrowing to see what we humans, our contribution to the shoreline is. It's awful. I mean, it's really awful. And how we got here, the systems that we've created. They're so destructive and so harmful. So the fish that the seals are eating, we know that they've got microplastics in them. How sad is that?